Hello, everyone. It's End Times Talk, and I'm coming at you with a video today pertaining to some things on the news and to some things in Scripture that I've been researching, and I wanted to share with you. First off, I want to talk about the Tractor Supply Co.'s chicken feed. All right, from what I'm hearing across the internet and across YouTube is that people that have been using Tractor Supply brand chicken feed, okay, their chickens have not been laying eggs at all, like at all. All right, and as soon as people are switching over to something else, some people are using goat feed, some people are mixing their own chicken feed. Regardless, though, when they switch over to something else, the chickens start laying eggs again. I think something on a bigger scale is happening, folks. This is genetically modified organics. This is bioengineered food ingredients that are being added to the chicken feed, I believe, that are causing a reduction in protein that chickens need to be able to produce eggs. So I want to make people aware. Some of you out there might raise your own chickens in for your own eggs, and so want to make you aware of this. Some other things in the news, and I know this has been pretty talked about, but I just want to add it in here. Some people might not know that scientists back whence had created what's called the doomsday clock, and ever so often they moved the hand closer to midnight or further away from midnight. It's happened in both directions, but they've just set the clock 90 seconds to midnight, people. 90 seconds to midnight. And so even the scientists are agreeing we're even further along towards doomsday than what we were before. Anyways, there's a lot going on the Russia Ukraine front. America is sending a bunch of I think 30 something Abram tanks into Ukraine to support the Ukraine. Germany's sending a bunch of their tanks that are very high end. Poland is sending tanks, and then Finland, Spain, Estonia, Norway, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom are also considering sending these tanks into the Ukraine. It's not going to have a huge outcome on the war itself, but it's charging things up politically. It's making Russia extremely mad at all these nations that are giving the Ukraine these military capabilities, and so Russia is now saying that they're considering using uranium tipped projectiles in this war. I do know that I've said in an earlier video that Russia has sent a spy ship that's, I think it's like 25 miles off the coast of Hawaii. They're saying that there is two Russian submarines in international waters just off the coast of the east coast of America. All right, in one of our subscribers has actually stated that it's right off the coast of Virginia. There, anyways, regardless though, things are changing, people. Things are changing, in a lot of people believe we're being surrounded by our enemies right now. That they're staging an attack. They're staging their plans for the future, for whatever war they're going to continue to push forward with. Anyways, I've been doing a lot of prophetic research, especially in the area of the war of Gog and Magog in Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39. And I've always been part of the school of thought where the war of Gog and Magog, which is the war in Ezekiel 38 and 39 that's prophesied to happen, would be World War III. I'm not so sure of that, people, anymore. I'm not so sure of that, people, anymore. There's some scriptures that I found that are rather interesting. Some scriptures that kind of eluded me before and kind of stumped me. It's like, why would that be there if this was so? And I want to talk about how Israel is being surrounded by our enemies right now. The Palestinians, Hamas, and Hezbollah. From Lebanon and Syria. They're all. Iran has kind of made a home base in Syria, and all of this is kind of they're starting to attack Israel with terrorist attacks, and there's been hundreds of them back in 2022, hundreds of them. And Israel is preparing for war right now. Ben Gavir, who is a the leader of the national security there in Israel, has been doing a lot of provocative things. And I'm not going to say that I'm against the man, because honestly, like, Israel's on her own. Israel is on her own, and they need strong leaders to make strong decisions. And he's ordered all Palestinian flags to be taken down. across the nation in Israel. He's walked on the Temple Mount, and where no Jew is supposed to be praying. You know, they're straight up defying the Palestinians, which in my opinion is a good thing. It's a good thing that the Jews are taking back their homeland, even if that means by force. But in Ezekiel 38, there's some scripture that I want to talk about, and it says here, okay, this is in Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 11. It says, "And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates." And this just isn't the case in Israel right now, people. It's not the case. Okay, like they're on a high alert. They have chain link fences up everywhere, barbed wire everywhere, security cameras everywhere. They're not dwelling in peace and safety. All right, and it says when the Ezekiel war of Gog and Magog comes, that these nations like Turkey and Russia and Iran and Ethiopia and Libya and all these different nations, because there is parts of Russia that are Islamic. Okay, the southern parts of Russia are Islamic. So what I'm trying to say is Islamic movement is going to come to try to destroy Israel. But there isn't peace and safety in Israel right now, and they're not talking about that. They're talking about war right now. But uh uh you know it says right here, "And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the hand stabs and or the hand stabs and the spears, that they shall burn them with fire for 7 years." And that says that in Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 9. All right. And so that 7 year quote there leads me to believe that the war of Ezekiel 38 and 39 could be in the beginning of the tribulation after the church has already been raptured. I've always believed that we would see the beginnings of Ezekiel 38 and 39, okay, come to pass. Whether we see the entirety of the war, I don't know. But I thought sometime during Ezekiel 38 and 39 that Jesus would come back to rapture his people. But let me share you with something here. It says in Joel chapter 3, this is a bit of a lengthy verse here. It says in Joel chapter 3, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom thou hast scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink." Because back when Israel was scattered, they literally sold off people, so that way they had a little bit of money to just do frivolous things. "Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?" And Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine, those areas are the areas that are surrounding Israel right now. All right. "Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, which I believe are the treasures of the temple of God, from the second temple, Solomon's temple. All right. "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head." Now, Ezekiel chapters, I think it's 33 through 37, talks about Israel becoming a nation again. All right, it's literally it's talking about the restoration of Israel as a nation, or as a state. Okay, and I believe that that's where this is talking about. That's kind of where we're at right now. And it says, "And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of into the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." And that's what's happening in Israel. They're preparing for war right now. All right, this Joel chapter 3 is lining up with what's happening right now. "Assemble yourselves, and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Or it says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, the fat overflow, for the wickedness is great. Talking, I think about the wine press, in the fat of the grapes. Now listen to this, people. It says in chapter 3, verse 14, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. It's literally saying that the day of the Lord, which is the great tribulation, is near. All right. So it says, when you see these things, know that the great tribulation is near, is what I'm reading from this. All right. That's what I'm taking from it. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. It says right here, and the Lord shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. So shall ye know that I am the Lord your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her any more. And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters. And a fountain shall come forth of the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shittim. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever in Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. All right, now it says right here that Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. This is a scripture talking about the terrorist attacks that have been happening in Israel, people. It literally, this lines up so perfect, so absolutely perfect with what's happening right now in Israel, that I truly believe that the Joel chapter 3 war is World War 3. Okay, and that the war of Gog and Magog is its own war. All right, I always thought that the war of Gog and Magog was World War 3. But I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to see that this could be completely different than what I thought it might have been. And so, this in Joel chapter 3, it talks about this war. When you see all these things happening, it's talking about that the day of the Lord is near in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, and so that's exactly what's happening right now. These armies, Hezbollah and Hamas and Syria and the Jordanians, they're all surrounding Israel, and Israel is preparing for war. And these are exactly the same countries and people that are talked about that are said to come against Israel. Okay, in this prophecy of Joel chapter 3. All right, and so I believe that this will make way once they win this war, and I believe they will. I believe they'll win this war because they're going to have to come back and fight in the war of Gog and Magog. All right, it kind of leads me to believe that the Israelites are going to win this war against Hamas and Hezbollah and in Syria and all the in Iran that's kind of attacking from Syria. So in my opinion, I think that things are about to get really heated in Israel. And like I stated before, I have a video called World War III has already been planned, and it has already started. I'm going to try to leave the link in the description down below, so you guys can check out that video and check out how the elitists have planned out World War III. And it also lines up with this as well. All right, it absolutely lines up with this. I'm not the final authority on everything, but this is what I believe in my heart. And so I wanted to share that with you today, pertaining to these things that I've found that are new to me. These are new to me. They might not be new to some people, but they're definitely new to me because I've always been part of that old school of thought that Ezekiel 38 and 39 is World War III, and I just don't think it is anymore. I do believe it's possibly a bigger war that's coming, but I believe that World War III could be this war, and it's going to be fought on multiple fronts. It's not going to just be in Israel against these Muslim enemies that are surrounding her, All right. I believe it's going to be Russia and the Ukraine and America and NATO and all this different stuff happening across the globe. And like I said, a restructuring of the borders of the world to bring forth 10 kingdoms for the Antichrist to rule. A lot of things have to happen really quickly for this all to line up. And so that leads me to believe that time is being definitely sped up. The birthing pains are increasing. The how fast the birthing pains are happening are increasing, and the strength of them are increasing as well. And so I think we definitely, as Christians, we need to be in prayer and fasting and seeking God's face, because we have to ask for God's protection in these times. I think things are going to get really hairy here, folks, for a while. I think we're already seeing it on the home front here, here in America, where it seems that civil war is definitely brewing. All right, multiple things are happening across the globe. Nation is rising against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there is distress of nations with perplexity. And it couldn't be more complex than this. I mean, it's the most complex situation that we could even muster up or think of globally right now. And it just never stops. So I wanted to come at you with this video and tell you what I had thought about these things that I've been researching, and I hope you were edified by it, and I appreciate you guys watching this video, and may God bless you, and may God keep you in the times ahead.